First payouts ever, best trading group I've ever came across, funded with 400K. Thank you, coaches, helped me a lot in the beginning stages, and he's got 2 payouts here. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Simple Markets channel. My name is JB, and today we have a huge announcement. We have officially passed 100,000 trades of data on the Simple Markets strategy. We call it the most data-backed strategy on YouTube, and it is exactly that by a landslide. Here we are on our FX replay dashboard with 100,357 trades taken. We will refresh that to make sure that you guys can see. Wow, that loading time is terrible. And there we go. Wow, that loading time was a little rough, but 100,000 trades of data have been taken on the Simple Market strategy. And the point of this video now is to go over what I have personally learned, as well as some real topics that I really want to get across to some of you watching. Now, number one, most of you do know this, but you can come to this page here, free strategy, and actually download it for completely free. It will be linked down below in the description. You can click on it, come to this page and download it. You could also look at some of our data and metrics that we've collected here. But the number one most important thing for you yourself is distinguishing between the noise of social media by utilizing something concrete or tangible like data. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of mentors at this point in the trading space on social media. But let's be honest, most people hear that they're using a certain strategy, they go and they try it themselves. A very small percent of them actually do have data to back their trading strategy. Most of them show off some sort of lifestyle they gain through selling mentorship programs or coaching programs, flexing Lamborghinis or watches or whatever lifestyle on social media that the average person wants. This is not concrete evidence that their strategy actually works. And number two, I preach it all the time, but you yourself need to go and collect data on that strategy that that person is showing, whether it's the Simple Markets one or not. And through that data, you will learn very quickly, does that strategy work? And that is the only way that you yourself will see the performance you want using that strategy. Anybody could go and pick up the Simple Market strategy, but if they're not backtesting it and from day one they hop into a live market, it will not work. Now, the truth is, not many mentorships will give you a trading strategy when you join. They will teach you concepts, and I know this because I've been in a lot of the bigger name mentorships in the industry. You join the community, a lot of people are kind of just as lost as you, and they actually kind of make you develop your own strategy using the concepts they teach, which I'm telling you is not the way to financial freedom in this industry. Telling someone to create their own strategy and just giving them concepts and education on smart money is part of the reason why there is such a low success rate in these communities and part of the reason why people don't stick around in them. Or the other end of the spectrum, like probably the biggest smart money mentor out there in the YouTube space with millions of subscribers now. His whole goal is that every year he drops a new mentorship with new metrics and new knowledge because he knows it retains his audience. He drops new strategies, new concepts, different ways to trade constantly because he knows that the people that are failing with the last year's mentorship are going to be looking for that next year's mentorship to hopefully be that holy grail that's going to come and save them. You need to get realistic with your trading. You need to get realistic with who you are following. And I personally feel like data is the key to doing that. As we preach all the time, we have the highest funded member to member ratio out of any Discord community on YouTube. Literally over 40% of our members are getting funded and profitable. Every single day, we have messages like this being sent in chat. First payouts ever. Best trading group I've ever came across, funded with 400K. Thank you, coaches, helped me a lot in the beginning stages, and he's got 2 payouts here. Essentially back to back within 3 days, he made $4,000 trading the strategy we use. There is a reason for this. We preach data, we preach realism, we force our students to do the hard work that they're going to have to do when they join, but that's part of the reason why every single name you're seeing here in chat is an orange name minus the coaches. Because those orange names represent the funded members and the ones who have done that work. They've backtested, they've collected the data, they used our strategy, and at the end of the day, they put aside the social media fluff and they got down to business and did the hard work. Now, the second big thing that I have personally learned is the idea of limited chart time, and this is huge. Most of you watching work a full-time job or plan on going to one within the next few years. Most of you watching might even be a student in school who's there for maybe 6 to 8 hours a day. You start early mornings, you get out in the late afternoon. You simply cannot maintain these strategies that people are pushing on social media, where you have to trade an entire session per day on a chart. But not only that, you're wasting 1 to 4 hours per day with your trading strategy because you're shown this overinflated idea of 1-minute time frame trading, 15-minute points of interest, all of this knowledge that is being spewed into the smart money space. And let's be honest, smart money at this point has thousands of channels and millions of combined subscribers using smart money because it was flashy and it was great for social media. But at the end of the day, why are we not seeing millions and millions of profitable, successful traders? It's not because it doesn't work. It's because the way that it is being shown is hyper-inflated, leading people to think that it's going to be extremely easy, or leading people to use strategies that simply don't work for them. I used to hop on a 4-hour chart and see that this chart was moving bullish or bearish. I used to hop on and set a point of interest on the 15-minute time frame, calling it a demand zone, for example. I'm going to change the color of the session so we have a better idea. But the whole point was at 8 a.m. when New York session opens, my trading partner and I would hop on the charts, we'd go down to the 1-minute time frame, and we would wait for that point of interest to get hit. Now 8 a.m. is here, and my point of interest doesn't even get tapped into until about 10:21 in the afternoon. 2.5 hours waiting for that point of interest to get hit, and what do you know? It gets hit, we don't really get a confirmation in there, it runs right through it, and we move on with our day. No trades, but we stayed on for maybe 2 hours, if not more. And we did this every single day. Now there's other strategies, for example, where you're looking for runs on liquidity, breaks a structure to the downside, and then trying to enter in a fair value gap within those ranges. Of course, those strategies can work, but once again, by the time you even get this break of structure, you're looking at an hour and a half on the charts. And that doesn't even include the fact that price ran without you and you didn't get an entry here. Or you might even hop on right at 8 a.m. and see this break of structure that occurred, this sweep on liquidity. You might enter here with the stop loss at the high and take a loss, or you might wait for a confirmation in there where there's a break of structure and once again, another loss. These strategies can work, but the point I'm trying to get across here is these sessions that a lot of smart money traders are preaching are 1 to 4 hours in length sometimes. There's this idea of kill zones that a very popular channel has popularized, and it's something like 9 a.m. to noon. That is a 3-hour window of your day. For most of you watching that are students, you cannot maintain this. And that is why swing trading, I think, is an extremely strong way, but improve your consistency overall on the charts. It limits the complexity we talked about here, and it also limits the time you need on those charts. I hop on the 4-hour time frame on my trading pairs. I very quickly browse through them to see if I have entry setups on those pairs. It takes about 5 minutes every morning to do this for this many pairs. All I'm doing is looking at the 4-hour time frame. Do I see a break of structure, a sweep on liquidity, and a fair value gap? I do. Throw my Fibonacci tool on there, set my order on MetaTrader, and I am good to go. Like I said, 5 to 10 minutes every morning. This is a strategy that can be maintainable for you, not only in the next 6 months, but if you do leave school and go into a full-time job, or if you're even working full-time now, you can do this at night. You can do it in the morning before work. You could do it after your workout, midday, whatever you want to do. 1 time per day, 10 minutes per day is all you really need as a swing trader. And you set and forget these orders and completely walk away. And you have so many different pairs that these trades are playing out all throughout the day and throughout the week. So the idea that when you see a pair like Pound Chef that came close to my entry and missed and I didn't get the TP, am I going to be upset about that? No, because I have 6 other trading pairs here that are doing their own thing as well at the same time. While this miss happened, I was probably at the gym. I could have been working on another business. I could have been at a real estate event, whatever it is. I'm going on with my life, doing my own thing, and my trading is working in the background nearly passively. That is one of the biggest things I learned from that data collection is having a strategy that is maintainable. And when you do, it allows you to collect these types of data sets that you're seeing above. Most of you, when trying to collect data, it could take so long because you have to do the 4-hour time frame, the 15-minute time frame, your 1-minute confirmation, and get one trade maybe within the few days to a week that they come about, and maybe take a week or so on any trading pair at any given time when your setup is present. It would take you years to gain a data set with 930 trades or a data set with 3,000 trades. It's because you're simply not getting enough repetitions and practice in because you're utilizing multi-time frames and lower time frames compared to a strategy that is very simple and basic where you can test thousands of trades in a very quick manner. So once again, as a very brief recap of the video, yes, we hit 100,000 trades, and the main points I learned is number 1, you need to be out there collecting data on the strategies that you're choosing. Don't believe the social media hype. Don't believe the amount of subscriber count a YouTube channel has. Lock in, do the hard work, collect the data, and see if that strategy works for you. Number 2, find a strategy that works with your schedule and your lifestyle. Why would you trade 1 to 3 hours a day on the 1-minute time frame doing futures or forex markets when you can trade 10 minutes per day, swing trade those pairs, and let your positions play out passively in the background of your life going on, your day-to-day activities? Make trading something that works in the background for you because psychologically speaking, it is going to be far, far better. You'll have less interference, you'll have less mental fatigue, you're going on with your day while your trades are playing out. And number 3, as always, is keeping that strategy simple. The more complex your strategy is, the harder it is going to be to maintain consistency, and even the more mental fatigue you'll feel at the end of a 1 to 3 hour session. You're going to constantly blame your rules and say that, oh, I didn't follow my rules today. You're going to have a little chart even on the side of your journal that says, did I follow my rules? Guys, if your strategy is that complex that you have to have an extra chart in your journal, or every day you have a little journal telling you that you didn't follow your rules. I even know some people with a percent metric that says, oh, I follow my rules 60% of the time. Your strategy is significantly too complex, and you need to dull that down in order to be consistent with your data. I promise you will not see long-term results using strategies that complex, but the unfortunate reality is the majority of smart money YouTube channels are making their views and their money by pushing newer and more complex strategies because it gives that wow factor to those traders out there who haven't heard of it yet. Choose who you listen to carefully, avoid the noise of social media, guys. Lock in, make 2026 your year. I hope you appreciated the video. I hope you gained some different perspective or insight, and I will see you guys in next week's video.